Time for Kids. Moving America Forward. Caption. Henry Ford introduced the Ford Model T car in 1908. The original vehicles came in blue, gray, green, and red. They cost $850 to buy. Everyone wanted a Model T, and thanks to the moving assembly line, almost everyone could have one. By 1918, half of all cars in the United States were Model Ts. Everybody wants one. The Model T was not the first car ever made, but it was the one most people could afford to buy at the time. One of the resources Ford used to build the Model T was steel. The car, which was nicknamed Tin Lizzie, was built to hold up on rough roads. It was dependable and easy to drive. They were also simple to maintain or fix. As the nation's population grew, more and more people were buying cars. They wanted to own a Model T. Before the Model T, cars were expensive. Not everyone had enough money to own one. Ford knew that he needed to bring the price down. First, he found a way to make more cars to meet the demand. Then he made them faster. Finally, he was able to make them affordable, or lower the cost so more people could buy one. Caption. The first Model T hit the roads on October 1, 1908. It could travel at a speed of 45 miles per hour. Assembly required. Henry Ford did not invent the assembly line, but in 1913 he improved on it. Ford rolled out a moving assembly line that made building cars much faster. One Model T used to take more than 12 hours to build. Using a moving assembly line, workers could build a car in 1 hour and 33 minutes. To build a Model T, workers and machines worked together. There were 84 steps. First, some workers stood at assembly stations, putting small car parts together. Then, a moving conveyor belt carried the car parts along as more workers put them together. After that, the body of the car was pulled along as more workers put their parts onto it. Then, the engines and gas tanks were added. Finally, the car bodies were assembled and the car was finished. The moving assembly line changed transportation in the United States. Workers could build many cars at once. Business boomed. Captions. These workers on an assembly line are putting together Model T cars in Detroit, Michigan in 1927. Many inventions have made it safer for people to drive cars. Timeline. Drive safely. 1885. The first seatbelts were used. 1903. Mary Anderson invented the windshield wiper. A World on Wheels. The price of the Model T dropped to less than $300 in 1925. More and more people bought them. As a result, more roads and highways were paved. Then gas stations and hotels sprung up. Next, many people moved out of cities. The people who lived in the 1920s started to appreciate being able to drive to work or go on a journey. Driving around was an agreeable way for them to spend time. Their descendants today may find life before cars hard to imagine. Sidebar. Mary Anderson and the windshield wiper. Mary Anderson invented the windshield wiper while riding a streetcar in 1902 during a snowstorm in New York City. After watching her streetcar driver jump in and out of the streetcar to clean off his icy windshield, Mary had an idea. First, she sketched her idea. Next, she worked out a plan. Then, Mary built a model out of rubber, wood, and metal. Finally, in 1903, she tested it. It worked. By 1913, more people bought cars. Thanks to Mary Anderson, they had windshield wipers. Timeline. 1915. Cars stopped at the first stop sign. 1938. Cars first used turn signals.